Well, hello, my fellow modern primates. Just having a nice long weekend and a good beer over here. Yeah, just kind of tiny thing that I've always been, sort of mindful about. That they always talk about, oh, Jesus died on the cross. All right, for our sins. Exactly why? Why would human sacrifice be necessary to absolve us of our sins? Why is human sacrifice has been, why have that been always necessary to absolve our, human beings of their sins in any culture? Aside from the fact that over 3,000 ideological, religions and doctrine has always been, pushing this whole thing about sacrifice to absolve us of all wrongdoing or sins or what everything we might have transgressed against the gods. Thirdly, uh, why? And I mean, it proved to me that on the third day he rose from the dead. You might say, yes, he's God, he's got the power, all of that, but no human beings raised from the dead since. I mean, yeah, the Bible claims that he brought Lazarus back from the dead. Strangely enough, that those are the only two human beings in history, according to the Bible, that ever was raised from the dead. Funny, don't you think? Never since then has anybody been raised from the dead. Never before then has anybody been raised from the dead, because scientifically it doesn't exist. It doesn't happen. It brings the whole kind of thing into question. Since the fact that it's only been pushed by a book that is so scientifically and historically inaccurate, and you can't even prove the existence of the characters that actually exist within that book. Jesus. I mean, we take the father of our nation, Mandela. We have documents. We have a grave site. We have a home of his birth. We have so many people that can contest the fact that he actually existed. He actually lived. It'll be quite difficult to prove that he didn't live. Let's take somebody a bit more further back in history. Let's take somebody like Lord Charles Somerset. Again, we have his home of residence here in Cape Town. We have documents that he signed in government. We have literally decrees that he signed. We have clothes he wore. We have various residencies that he stayed at. That proves to us that he actually existed. Let's say take George Washington. Let's say, go a bit further out in the world. Let's take George Washington. We have his home of birth. We have his home of residence. We have documents he signed, letters he wrote. We have diary entries by him. We have mountains of evidence to actually prove that he existed. What proof do we have Jesus ever existed as a person? I mean, he was God made man. Let's take Moses. What evidence do we have? In the hundreds of years that we've actually scoured the landscape of Egypt, we've not found one inscription in hieroglyphics or any other that could actually, cement his existence other than what is written in the Bible. Take any other character, for instance, Job, Abraham. Where else in history, in any book of history, any form, has he been mentioned? It just puts the whole scenario a bit too difficult to believe. And to take the fact that most omniscient, omnipresent deities that has been described in history in any other religion, including Sumerian, Mesopotamian, Greek, has all kind of had some form of virgin birth, some form of death and rebirth. or resurrection. Each one of them has got a creation myth. Most of them has got a flood myth. If you take the book of Gilgamesh, even in the Bhagavad Gita, they describe a flood myth, global flood myth, which never happened because there's no evidence to support it. So, and come to think of it, most of those writings predate the Bible or the Christian religion by literally centuries. So it's more likely to think or to hypothesize that the Bible was ripped off from the other religions in this, the very limited knowledge of the world they had around them. But anyway, my fellow friends, my fellow modern primates, I wish you a very welcome long weekend, and cheers to all of you.